Hey guys, this is Miss Donna Dyer, and I'm excited to have you in class this semester. If you're watching this, you are in my Anatomy and Physiology CP class, and one thing that we're going to do today is we're going to go over the syllabus for this course. The other thing that you're going to need to do today is you need to look at the other assignment under August 14th. You're going to be making a flip group video. So anyway, I'm just going to go over the syllabus really quick to kind of give you an idea of what you're going to be learning about in this class and what some of the expectations and responsibilities are going to be for you. First of all, you can see here some of the units that we'll be going over. Remember, anatomy and physiology is referring to anatomy is the structure and physiology is the function. So the structure and function of the human body. So we're going to be looking first at just learning kind of the language that we'll be using in this class. Again, we use what we call medical terminology, which is almost like a different language. So there's a lot of different terms and words. If you've had medical terms or medical terminology with Ms. McClard at the ATC before, then that's going to really help you in this class, just like this class will help you a lot if you end up going and then taking her medical terminology class. So we're going to learn a lot about medical terminology because understanding those words is going to help you to understand the content and the concepts that we're trying to learn in this class. From there, we're going to learn about tissues in the human body, and then from there, we're going to be going into the different systems. Now, I think it is like 12 units. So basically you have 10, 11 systems in the human body. We probably won't have time to go over all those. We usually get down to about the nervous system, and then we usually run out of time. So again, some of these later units are units that when you go to college and do anatomy and physiology, let's say for nursing, you really don't get to the respiratory system, urinary, reproductive, and immune systems anyway until the second anatomy course. So this course is going to be a really good preparation for you for your first college anatomy class, but your second one you will have had some of what's in it because, for example, generally they cover the heart and the digestive system in the second anatomy and physiology class in college, so you will have had that, but then these other things like respiratory, urinary, reproductive, and immune, endocrine system I don't have on here, those things they usually also cover in the second anatomy class. So this class pretty much covers a lot of what you'll have in your first college anatomy class, and it covers a little bit of what you'll have in your second anatomy and physiology class. However, in college anatomy and physiology, they go a lot faster and they go in a lot more depth and detail. So again, this is a really good preparation for that. And this is why we do require this CP course if you want to do dual credit anatomy and physiology 1 and 2 here at the high school. I also teach those classes, but you can't enroll in those unless you have had this one first. So this course is a really good prep for those college anatomy courses. You can see the grading scale here. Again, 90 is an A, so on and so forth. Moving on, how is your grade going to be determined? First of all, we're going to have formative assessments that will count 20% of your grade. That's going to be things like drawings that I ask you to do by looking at slides under the microscope, questions over your notes, quizzes, interactive notebook assignments you may have online. Things like that will be formative assessment grades, and that will count 20% of your grades. Summative assessments, these are going to be your unit test, guys. At the end of each unit, you'll have a summative assessment, which is basically a unit test. Generally, those are going to have multiple choice items, also matching, and maybe some short answer. You may also here and there see some labeling, true and false, things like that. But basically, summative assessments are going to be your unit exams for the most part. Also, summative assessments may include lab practicals. When in this class we dissect a cat. Even if we are doing distance learning, I'm going to ask you guys to come in to dissect the cat. As long as we're here in groups of 10 or less, we can come in and work together and dissect the cat with our masks on, and we're going to have some face shields and stuff too. So after we dissect the cat, we actually have a lab practical, and what that is where I come in and I put pins in different structures of the cat with numbers, and then you have to go around and look at those pins and those numbers and where they're sticking in the cat and identify the structures that have the pins in them by number. So a lab practical would be something else that you would need to come into the classroom for in order to complete. And that would be also considered a summative assessment. It's a summative assessment over the different things of the cat that we have dissected. And then the last 20% of your grade is going to be 9 weeks and semester test. The 9 weeks test, the first 9 weeks test will be comprehensive over everything that we learned first 9 weeks, and then the semester test will be comprehensive over everything that we've learned the whole semester. The first 9 weeks test grade counts 20% of your first 9 weeks grade. The semester test counts 20% of your overall semester grade. And then our second 9 weeks test grade won't actually be a test. I'll actually be having you to do a different project for that. Some important things that we need to go over, and this is where I want to spend the most time in our syllabus. First of all, we're going to be paperless. What this means is that I'm not going to be handing out any papers to you, and you're not going to be handing in any papers to me. Most of your assignments, quizzes, exams, etc., will be completed and submitted to me on Google Classroom. So they will be assignments that I will make on Google Classroom, and then you will submit them, turn them in to me on Google Classroom. Now, does that mean that you can't use notebook, pencil, and paper in this class? No. You are more than welcome to use paper and pencil. Only thing is that we can't share those. We can't be passing them around. And I can't give them to you. I can't let you borrow those things because we want to limit our contact with one another because we don't want to potentially spread the virus. So therefore, if you need paper and pencil, then you need to make sure that you bring your own. Another thing very important, most of your grade in this class is going to be determined by quizzes and tests. So it's very important that you study, you ask questions if you don't understand something, get help if you need it, so that you can do well on those quizzes and exams, because those are where the majority of your grade will come from. You will be able to retake things in this class, except for your 9 weeks of semester test. You cannot retake those things. But all of your quizzes, any open responses that we do, even unit exams, you can retake those. However, you can only retake those at tutoring. We will be having tutoring this year at the high school. We're going to have it early in the mornings and in the afternoons. I'm actually going to be tutoring a couple days a week on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons from 3 to 5. If you are interested in coming in for that, then you would just need to email me and let me know, and we would set up an appointment for you, because we can't have a bunch of people here at the same time. We have to have groups of 10 or less. So if you are interested in tutoring, you would need to email me, and I would email you back or contact you. Hold on just a minute.
We're going to reassemble in the library at 1:45 just briefly.
Okay. So anyway, you would need to come in. You would need to email me, and I would contact you, and we would set up an appointment for what time and day you would want to come in to do tutoring. And I will be here for tutoring. There will be tutoring every day after school, and I think in the mornings as well. But I would only be here on Tuesday and Thursday afternoon. So if you wanted to come on a day that's not Tuesday or Thursday, then you would be working with another teacher besides me to do your retake. Again, when you retake, you can retake the quiz, and you can get the higher of the 2 grades. So if you made an 80 the first time, 100 the second time, you get to keep the 100. And that's the way it is for all of your formative assessments. But your summative assessments, these are going to be your unit exams. You do have to retake the entire exam, but you only get half credit back. So if you made a 50 on it the first time, and you came in and we worked and we talked and you studied, and you made 100 on it the second time, then you would basically get an average of those 2 scores. You get half credit back. So half credit, if you made a 50 and then you made 100, you would get a 75 on that exam. Also, if there's anything that you need to make up, let's say you missed something for some reason, you don't turn something in by the due date, or you miss it, you were absent, or for whatever reason you failed to turn it in, or you failed to be at school or to take the exam or whatever before it shut off, if you're doing virtual or distance learning, then you would need to come to tutoring to make that up. Whatever assignment you don't turn in by the due date, or you miss because you're not present, or for whatever reason you didn't do it, then you must come to tutoring to make that up. Good thing about, since we're going through a pandemic, is that we actually are going to have in-person and online tutoring. So you can actually come into the school building to retake and redo things on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons, or we can do an online tutoring session. So we could do a Google Meet, and we could talk about how you did and go over things and let you study, and then you would sit there and retake that quiz or that exam in front of me. So in front of me on the camera on Google Meet. Again, as I said earlier, you may be asked to come to class in person during your regular class period on specified days in groups of 10 or less to do lab activities such as dissect the cat, to take exams, especially like our lab practical. If we're having a lab practical and we're still on distance learning, or maybe you're a virtual student, maybe we're in person but you're a virtual student, then you would still need to come in and dissect the cat on the days we do dissection, and you would still need to come in and take the lab practical on the day that we do that as well. Something that I've had issues with in the past, just because you're absent or you miss an assignment for whatever reason, you are still responsible for making up any work that's missed and being prepared to do quizzes and tests on the day that I give them in class. Again, we are going to be taking our exams and quizzes during this class period. Okay, so I have you guys second period, so that's going to be from 9 to 9:45. while we're on distance learning. And so I will be making your quizzes and tests available to you during that time period, and they will be timed. So you will only have a certain amount of time to do them. So that means that you're going to need to know what you're doing, because you're not going to have time to look up all the answers if you're at home. And you are going to be responsible for taking it. Even if you missed the assignment from yesterday, even if you were absent the day before the test, you are still expected to take the test on the day that it is administered in class. No excuses for not taking tests and quizzes on the day that they are administered in class. So even if you miss school or you miss an assignment, we have a quiz or test the next day, you still have to take that whether you missed whatever we did the day before or not. Again, this is the schedule I was talking about. While we're on distance learning, first period will be from 8 to 8:45. Second will be from 9 to 9:45. Third will be from 10 to 10:45. Fourth will be from 12 to 12:45. And fifth will be from 1 to 1:45. So why do I have this on here? Well, number one, anytime that you need help, this is when you would contact me. Okay, anytime that you need help, this is when you would contact me, would be 9 to 9:45, because this class is second period. So if you were needing to come in for help, that is when you would come in between 9 and 9:45. You would contact me, make an appointment, and we would schedule a time between 9 and 9:45 for you to come in. The reason I have a Tuesday here is that I will be available to you for face-to-face questions on Google Meet on Tuesdays between 9 and 9:45. So pretty much any day from 9 to 9:45, you can email me. We can set up a time, and I will call you between 9 and 9:45. Okay. But if you want me to be available to you without even having to contact me between 9 and 9:45 on Tuesdays for my second period students, I will have our Google Meet link open and ready for you to get on there and ask me questions. So I have put a tutorial video on my teacher website, and it's also on your Google Classroom to show you how to do that. But if I go in there real quick and we go to this class, this is your class, on the Stream tab, right here there is a Google Meet. And right now you can see the I has a slash through it, meaning that if you click on that, it's not going to do anything. But on Tuesdays between 9 and 9:45, that I with that slash will not be there. That will be open, and I will be logged on. So all you will have to do is go to your Google Classroom page, the Stream link tab, and click on this link, and it will open up for you, and I will be sitting there, and I will take any questions that you have. So that will be, so this time, Tuesday from 9 to 9:45, will be the only time that you don't have to contact me ahead of time to ask me a question. It will be the only time where you can just get on your Google Classroom, go to that link, click on it, and I will be there waiting. Okay? If you have any questions about that, please let me know. Distance learning expectations, again, this is whether we are all on distance learning or whether we have some people in person and other people at home doing distance learning from home. All materials and assignments will be delivered through Google Classroom. So again, check your Google Classroom daily. I will be checking in with you, if not daily, weekly. If I am not hearing from you, then I will be emailing you. I will be trying to call you. I will be trying to get in touch with you if I'm not hearing from you. If I don't hear from you, or you go more than 2 days without submitting assignments, I will be contacting your parents, our principals, as well as the attendance lady at the central office will be contacted. Okay, truancy laws still apply. So you will be counted as an absence. And if you get enough absences, you will be considered truant, and you may end up having to go to court and things like that. So very important that you are checking in with me by email, checking in your Google Classroom, completing your assignments daily, so that I know where you are and what's going on, and that everything's okay, and can help you if you need help. Okay, I'm also going to have office hours in addition to that 9 to 9:45 every day, where you can email and I'll get in contact with you as long as we're on distance learning. When we go back to school, I won't be available for that 9 to 9:45 every day. This is only while we're on distance learning, while everybody is virtual. So when virtual classes stop and in-person classes begin, then I'm not going to be able to be answering questions for you from 9 to 9:45, because I'm going to be in with the kids that are here in my classroom. So I'm going to have office hours. Again, during times when everyone is virtual, you can email me anytime, And I will be able, anytime 8 to 2, Monday through Friday, during your regular class period. You can email me anytime, but I may only be able to answer you during your regular class period between 9 to 9:45. So during times when we're all on distance learning, you can email and I will try to get back with you during your class period, Monday through Friday. When in-person classes begin, okay, so I'm not going to be able to talk to you between 9 and 9:45 when in-person classes begin. I will be able to hopefully contact you after you've emailed me and ask a question during my planning, which is between 12:15 and 1:15, but also in the afternoon. So whether we're doing distance learning or whether we're in-person classes, between 3 and 5 p.m. on Monday and Wednesdays, you email me, I will respond. So basically every day between 3 and 5 p.m., you will be able to email me, contact me, and I will respond to you. Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm calling those office hours. Tuesdays and Thursdays, guess what? I'm going to be tutoring. So again, I will be available. And then Fridays as well. I didn't put that on here, but Fridays you can too. So basically what I'm telling you here is from 3 to 5 every afternoon, I will be available. But after 5 o'clock, if you email me a question, you won't hear anything from me till the next morning, more than likely, because I can't be on call 24/7. So if you have questions, you need to contact me before 5 o'clock. Your parents can also contact me if they have questions, but I will not be available for questions after 5 o'clock each day. And so because of that, all assignments are due by 5 p.m. on their due date. Okay, because it's not going to do me any good to have the assignment due at 7 and you can't ask me questions after 5. Okay, because that gives you 2 hours. You'll sit down to do it and you'll have questions and I won't be able to help you because it's outside my office hours. So I'm making everything due at 5 o'clock. That way, if you do have questions, I will be available for you to email and ask those questions. Again, as I said earlier, all of your quizzes and exams will be timed, so you will only have a certain amount of time to complete them, meaning that you must know the material up front because you're not going to have unlimited time to sit there and look up answers to questions. So you're going to have to study and know it and understand it before the quiz or exam so that you'll have plenty of time to complete the quiz and exam without having to look things up because you're not going to have time to look things up. Also, I will be, as I said earlier, I think I've already said this, I will be assigning your quizzes and exams during your regular class period. So, when we're on distance learning, that's between 9 and 9:45. When we are in actual in-person classes, that's going to be between like 9:10 and 10:15. So your quizzes and exams will open up during that second period time slot, and they will be closing before that second period time slot is over. So if you do not complete them within that time frame, I will not accept them, and you will have to make them up at tutoring. You won't be able to do them. You'll have to make them up at tutoring. Again, you may contact me by email, call me on the phone, send me a message on Google Classroom, etc., to set up a time to do a tutoring appointment, to set up a time to get extra help. Again, it can be you or a group of students as long as it's less than 10. Finally, when in-person classes resume, and I've already said this earlier, if you are a distance learning student, if you're still staying on virtual, even when everybody else comes back to school, you are going to be required to come in sometimes during second period to do lab activities or to take exams, to do lab practicals, to dissect the cat, things like that. You're still going to have to come into class sometimes, not every day, not for the whole day, but sometimes I will request that you need to come in to do this cat dissection. You will need to come in to take this lab practical. So just be expecting that. When we do return to in-person classes, you are only allowed 2 hall passes each 9 weeks. If you need more than that, again, 2 hall passes, meaning 2 times that you can leave the room to go to the bathroom or leave the class for whatever reason. If you need to leave more than that, unless you have a doctor's excuse, the only way you can leave more than that is if you have come to tutoring. You can earn extra hall passes by coming to tutoring. Also, when we return to in-person classes, cell phones and other electronic devices, you cannot use those. So I will be asking you, we can't use our little pockets anymore because everybody's would be in too close proximity with the virus and everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask you to lay your cell phone face down on your desk where I can see it so that I know that you're not using it. If you can't do that, then you will want to leave your cell phone in your car or at home. Again, if you do decide you want to use a locker, you can leave it in your locker. Anyone who doesn't do that, what I'm asking you to do, then I'm going to just tell the principals you need to do something with this person because they can't follow the rules. Again, another important thing when we do come to school, come back to in-person classes, it's going to be important for you to wear your mask anytime you are up out of your seat or are less than 6 feet away from someone else. So again, wearing the mask means it's both over your mouth and your nose. And when would you need to wear that? Well, you would need to wear that if we were doing a lab activity, like looking under the microscopes, dissecting the cat. Anytime you get up out of your seat to go sharpen your pencil, to go to the bathroom, you need to have that mask on. When I'm circulating around the room, like during a test or during an activity, you would need to put your mask on. I would wear mine and you would wear yours because we're going to be less than 6 feet from one another. So anytime you are up moving or I am moving around in the classroom, when I'm up at the front of the room, you don't have to wear it. But anytime I'm moving around the classroom or you are up moving around, then you would need to have that mask over your mouth and your nose. Okay, and that's it. I know this has been a little bit long, but we are living in some weird times, and some confusing. This can be some confusing information. So please, if you have any questions, let me know. Email me, send me a message on Google Classroom. I'll be more than happy to help you any way I can. I want you to be successful. I'll be talking to you later, and I hope to see you real soon. Bye bye.